This is Hoodies. Yo, welcome back to another dope session of Footies the Podcast. I'm the host, the God Rashidi, coming at you live from the Skill Suite. Or maybe not so live, but we coming at you. So let's put one in the air for Hoodies the Podcast. Word. Listen, man, you know the drill. Happy born day to you if you got a born day today. You'll be fresh out the womb or you've been here a while, man. Salute to you. New life, more life. I'm just chilling here in my favorite jacket. Listen, man, in the same breath, I would like to extend my condolences to anybody who may have lost a loved one. You know what I'm saying? Someone you've admired, respected, someone extremely important. Sorry for your loss, man. Once again, I get people come to YouTube and spaces like that to get, hardships off their mind. And hopefully I do a decent job of that. But before I do that, I just want to acknowledge what you may be going through right now. A loss. Shout out to you if you've got a family member who's going through sickness. You know what I'm saying? Who has pending procedures that's getting ready to happen. You know what I'm saying? I send some warm energy out to all y'all. Man, everybody's just trying to make it. Everybody's just trying to do the best that they can. You know what I mean? Just trying to put one foot in front of the other one and make it happen. Right now, there's a lot of parents who's getting ready to send their sons and daughters off to college. You know what I mean? Howard and some schools I never even heard of before. It's a mixed bag of emotions too. You got some parents who are like, yeah, it's time to go. It's time to make this. So some parents are really enthused while some are reluctant. And, oh man, I'm going to miss my mom. I'm going to miss baby girl and whoop-de-whoop. So it's a mixed bag of emotions. But if I could say something that could bring just a little bit of comfort to everybody, and it's not to say that I know everything, but neither of you, both parties involved, right? The parent and the kid that's going off to school. I don't think either of you realize how much y'all really need that. You know what I'm saying? It comes a time in a child's life where you have to kind of let them venture off and, lead a nest and do what they need to do to become who they need to become. You know what I'm saying? I suppose, granted, it's easier said than done, but as a parent, it just comes a time when that just has to happen. And I don't think the both of you, some parents do, some children do, or adults say children, they children. Even some of them know, but most don't. Most don't realize how much they really need this moment right now. The parent both parties need to let go, and it's time. It's time, man. It's time. They up. They're up. It's their time to take their swing. It's their time now. You know what I'm saying? It's time. It's the best way I can put that. It's time. Word up. So how's everybody doing though, man? Word, outside of, sons and daughters going off to college, leaving the nest, so to speak. It's still in your pocket, but they're not necessarily in the nest. You know what I'm saying? But how's everybody doing, man? How y'all feel? You know what I'm saying? I'm doing well. I'm making it just like everybody else, just putting one foot in front of the other one. Just trying to make it, man. Word. Some days are easier than others, but I know that at the end of the day, I got this, man. Because what are the choices? Make it or make it, man. Dead ass. So salute to anybody who's going through a thing right now. Some things that nobody else know nothing about. But they showing up every day for themselves, showing up for others. You know what I'm saying? Of service to others, to community, things of that nature. Still doing the good work, still fighting the good fight. Word. Salute to y'all again, man. Word up. So I think I've wasted enough of y'all's time in this intro. I'm grabbing at straws, trying to find something to talk about before I get into the main topic today. But what I do real quick before I end the intro is I want everybody who's watching this right now to just take a moment and think. We're going to do a lot of thinking this episode, but the first challenge, if you will, is to think about just one thing real quick That one thing that you're grateful for. Just real quick. Go ahead. Word. And and listen, and for that one thing right there, just think about how much worse your life could be. You know what I'm saying? Be thankful for that. Be grateful for that. For that one thing you thought of, be grateful. And the intro, I'm done. Word up. Let's get into this thing, man. Word. Let's do it. Me and my favorite jacket. Yeah. Alright, check it. So I don't have a whole lot of media to put up. And I suppose that's a good thing. Right? But I do have a question. Check it. Check it. Here's that the second challenge to think again. Right? Okay, listen. Let's stop bullshitting. Let's do this. If everything in your life was stripped away, right? If everything in your life was stripped away, titles, money, possessions, things of that nature. Okay, we're talking titles, money, possessions, and whatever else you can think of, things of value, stuff like that, right? If you lost all of those things, if all of those things were stripped away from you, right? What's the one thing that you would still hold on to? Right? Whatever you just thought of just now, that is what one would refer to as your one true north. All right? What is the one true north? I'm going to say north. North. Right? Okay, your one true north is your inner compass. Right? It's your inner compass. It's that principle. You know what I mean? It's that principle or value that you return to when you're not on your square. Or say like when you lost. You know what I'm saying? It's not your goals. If you're thinking, I got my goals keep me on point. I mean, I hear you, but it's not that. So shut up. Shut the fuck up. Right? And the reason why I'm saying it's not your goals, because goals change. They change. But your true north doesn't. Your true north does not change. Right? Some people's true north might be service. Right? I think that's service, right? Some people's true north is creativity. You know what I mean? If they can just dig in and become creative and create something, that's always the one thing that kind of brings them back, or the one thing that centers them. You know what I'm saying? Faith. You know, some people in whatever, be it a deity, be it in yourself, just faith. You know what I mean? Family, freedom, or growth. Okay? Some people's true north might be those things. You know what I mean? Okay, so I know I'm always not always, but every time I get into examples or whatever, I always talk about my time in like boot camp or whatever. And I always go back to that time because that was it wasn't my first time being on my own. But it was the first time I really stepped outside my comfort zone. The first time ever in my life. You know what I mean? The first time I had been in trying situations. I was 21. I had been in trying situations before that, right? But this was different. Boot camp was different for me. You know what I mean? For other people, it was something else. But that was the first time I had stepped outside my comfort zone. That was the first time I realized things about myself that I didn't know before. I realized that I can talk myself into anything. You know what I mean? I've spoke about, climbing up to the platform, the 10-foot platform or whatever, one by one. You know what I mean? In boot camp, we was told to, put our arms like this and step off into the drink. Couldn't swim worth a shit, but listen, everything was new. I was young. I was 21. It was new. So a lot of things seemed really uncertain, but I found comfort in knowing that I had me. If that made any sense? I could talk myself into anything and out of anything. Yeah, I was almost about to say that's a reach, but nah, that ain't a reach. That's not a reach, right? So I guess what I'm saying is, without a one true north, life can feel a bit scattered. You know what I'm saying? It can feel scattered. It makes you seem as though you're more reactive and less intentional. That make any sense? It's like you're just reactive, but you're not very intentional at all. Um, because when you have that compass, that inner compass, when you have it, even when shit's fucked up, man, let's call it what it is. Even when there's a setback, with like that one true north, even when it's fucked up, even when it's a setback, shit, the setback almost feels like a redirection. You know what I'm saying? Because you got that one true north. I suppose one true north could be, I suppose failure and all that stuff is a mindset. You feel me? But with a one true north, when things is not on point, shit's fucked up, and there's a setback, that ass, it feels like redirection, if that makes any fucking sense. I'm trying to get the words to come out, you know what I'm saying, the way I want them to come out, but I'm getting there. I'm warming up, man. I'm cooking. It's a slow cook. Okay, so um how do you develop a one true north? How do you figure out, how do you discover yours? How about that? How do you discover your one true north? Right? So everybody's is different, but my one true, well, how I discovered mine, how about that? And maybe whoever's watching this, maybe you can relate, right? Um at some point in time in my life, I started to think, what do I want to be remembered as? What, or should I say, what do I want to be remembered for? And I don't know if that's one and the same or not. What do I want to be remembered for? I started to ask questions like that, and then I started to notice reoccurring themes in the choices that I was making, right? And I mean the type of choices that make me feel good, choices that make me feel alive, you know. Um, uh, I also thought about, well, not necessarily thought about. I also started to really pay attention, right? I started to pay attention to what would really bother me if I stopped caring about it. You know, to what would damn near break my heart. You know what I'm saying? If I was to stop caring about a particular thing. So that's how I did my trying to get my words out. And I'm also of the belief that I have more than one compass, or more than one true north. And that probably, that didn't come out that didn't come out the right way. What the fuck am I talking about? But that's how I came up with my one true north. Right? Uh I had to think about, I didn't have to, but that's just how I, discovered my one true north. I started to think about what I wanted to be remembered for. You know what I'm saying? I had to think about the reoccurring, the things I would keep doing that actually made me feel alive, that make me feel good. You know what I'm saying? I had to pay attention to what I really cared about, what I was really passionate about. You know what I'm saying? What would really bother me if I couldn't, you know, indulge in that thing, right? And that's how I discovered my one true north, right? So, all right, so listen, this is what I would like for you to do, right? You ain't got to do it. You can sit here and be like, nah, fuck that. I ain't gonna do shit. But if you want, if we on the same frequency, this is what I want you to do though. If you're on that same wave, all right, I want you to write down your possible true north in one sentence. One sentence, write down your possible one true north. You know what I'm saying? For example, my one true north is creating spaces where people feel seen and valued. That's one of mine. You know what I mean? That's why I think sometimes I got more than one. Either that or my one true north is me. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, a one true north. It's so many ways you can explain this thing. Your one true north is, it's like when life gets kind of noisy, and it will. When it gets noisy, your one true north, and when it becomes unpredictable, your one true north is that thing that won't change. That's the compass that'll always bring you back to your center. You know what I'm saying? Always there to guide you back home. Word. And if you ever wondered about the saying, one true north, I found it kind of interesting, right? Um, just the whole concept of it. You know, how the one true north is like this fixed point, in the Earth's globe. You know what I'm saying? That never changes, right? Like a compass can be thrown off by magnetic fields and shit like that. But a one true north is always reliable. A one true north is always steady. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's pretty interesting when we can translate that into life. You know what I mean? You know, now your one true north is that it's still that one thing that guides you back. You know what I'm saying? When you all fucked up, as I like to put it, when you all fucked up and not on your square, that one true north is what'll bring you back. Those principles, that sense of purpose that keeps you aligned with everything. Am I making sense? I know I'm kind of all over at least I think I'm all over the place. You know what I'm saying? When everything else feels uncertain, when everything else feels like a distraction, it's the one true north that gets you back on point. You know? Yeah, man, it's the best way I can explain it. It's that inner compass. You know what I mean? That inner, matter of fact, it's one of those things about you that is non-negotiable. At least for me, it is. It's non-negotiable. You know what I mean? It's that one thing, fam. That even if I lose everything else, I got that one true north. You know what I mean? For some people, it's service, like I said. Some people, it's love, creativity, freedom, or faith, or, you know what I'm saying? It ain't just one thing. All right. So, real quick, y'all still there? Y'all still watching? All right, check it. Listen, so let me tell you now what one's true north is not. Let me tell you what it isn't, right? Your true north, your one true north is not your career. It's not that. I know listen, I know you went to school. I know you went and got a degree. I know you did all those things. I know it's putting food on the table. I know it's funding trips. I know it's getting you the sneakers, the cars, all the things you want. I know it's allowed you to impress people. It's allowed you to travel and go see family. It's allowed all kinds of stuff, right? From the money you've made from these careers. But your one true north is not your career. You know why? Because careers change. Careers change. So it can't be that. Your one true north don't change. You know what I'm saying? So it's not a career. One's one true north is it's not your role either. For example, parent, being a parent, being a spouse, or even being a leader. Say you're a leader in the community that you live in. Say you got a whole community and your folk love you. You know what I'm saying? Say you've got a mentoring program. Say you're a coach or whatever. Even if you're a leader, an advocate of sorts, that's not your one true north. It's not. Your one true north is all. In fact, it's not. It has nothing to do with external achievements at all. No, because those fade. It has nothing to do with that. You seen clips of talked about Mike Tyson in the last episode, right? I seen Mike Tyson in an interview with this one dude was talking to him about all his belts. He was like, "Yo, this is legendary. This is great stuff." And he just picked it up and this shit is garbage. It's garbage. He's like, "But yo, this is history and this doesn't mean anything to you." And so he told the dude that was interviewing him. He said that when I was young, this meant something to me. When I was young and in that space, yeah, it meant something to me. But then you get a little older and realize, what really matters is your family. He didn't say this, but your health but yeah, your family and making sure your family's straight and your kids and this, that, and the third. That's what really matters. You see what I'm saying? So all the achievements and all the external achievements, all those things fade. They get old. Plaques, trophies, belts, things of that nature, they get old. You know what I'm saying? But a one true north, that's the why underneath all of that, underneath all that shit, underneath all the external shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's what a one true north is not. Right? Okay, so what does it feel like? Once you discover your one true north, what does it feel like? Everybody's experience is different. Everybody's is different. And I'm no different. My shit is different, right? So I'll just for myself, right? Not that you asked, but for an example, right? For an example, nigga. You feel centered, right? You feel centered even when life is stressful. Now, of course, just because you feel centered because you have a one true north don't mean you ain't. It doesn't mean you'll never get lost. That one true north is the one thing that brings you back. You see what I'm saying? But when you're in alignment, I'll just say that when you are in alignment with your one true north, when you're actually on your square, yes, you feel centered. And then yes, life feels even when life is stressful, you feel centered is what I'm trying to say. All right? Your decisions, when you are aligned on your square, right? Your decisions feel clearer. Right? You know what's worth saying yes and what's worth saying no to. Not saying that you can't be wrong from time to time. You know what I mean? Because maybe when you said yes one time, maybe you weren't in alignment. Maybe when you said no, maybe you weren't necessarily in alignment. But when you are in alignment, you know what I'm saying, with your one true north, when you are on your square, you know what I'm saying, then yeah, your decisions feel clearer. You know what I mean? Nah, man, I ain't gonna be able to do that, fam. I ain't gonna be able to do that shit. Hey, man, I would love to do that. Absolutely. Words. Hey, we can go now. You know what I'm saying? We can do this now. You know? And listen, when you are in alignment with your one true north, when you're square and all that, when you are in alignment, you stop chasing other people's definitions of success and things like that and start moving in your own direction. When you are in alignment with your one true north, you ain't worried about what nobody else is doing. You worried about you and yours. And see, you and yours, a lot of people think that you and yours is just you and your immediate, you know what I mean, your family. You and yours is you and your world, your tribe. You know what I'm saying? Your community, as far as I'm concerned. You know what I'm saying? You worry about you and yours. Stop worrying about everybody else's definition of success. You know what I'm saying? Because your one true north damn sure ain't theirs. You know what I mean? Start moving in your own direction. That's also something once you discover your one true north, boom, that's a byproduct of it. Dig what I'm saying? So I realize that I'm doing a whole lot of beating a dead horse here. You know what I'm saying? I get that. Bear with me though. Check it out. I'm gonna get to the real point. Okay, so for example, just to help bring this thing home, for some of you slow motherfuckers, nah, I'm playing. Y'all ain't slow. Your one true north, like I said earlier, could be service. It could be service. You know what I mean? And remember, I said it's that one thing that you'll feel some type of way if you couldn't do it. You know what I mean? It's that one thing you can't stop caring about. You know what I mean? So sure, service would be your one true north. You know what I mean? Some people feel like no matter what I do, I want my life to help others. No matter what I do, I want my life, my experiences, I want to use that to help others. I want to be of service to others. You know what I mean? For some people, I don't know, maybe their one true north could be growth. You know what I'm saying? With the mindset of, hey, my life is constantly about learning and evolving. You know, for some folk, it could be a connection, like maybe love or something like that. You know, you know, I suppose your one true, your whole mantra or your mindset could be that, or you could feel as though what matters most is building relationships and building connection with people, with people, leaving people better off than what you've left them. And that's probably almost in the service category. You know what I'm saying? And then, of course, then there's freedom. Just being free, I suppose, could be a person's one true north. I don't know. I guess so. I suppose people like that could have a mindset, like, yo, I want to live life on my own terms. You know what I'm saying? I want to live life on my own terms with some authenticity and independence. That's something I can relate to. That's something that you feel as an entrepreneur. As an entrepreneur, there's a certain level of freedom that comes with that. You know what I mean? You can be extremely authentic in your own shit. You feel me? So, yeah, man, a one true north, it's important. You know what I mean? It's that anchor. Everybody needs an anchor. You know what I mean? So that when you drift off course, that's the one thing that brings you back. You know what I'm saying? That's important, man. Word. Okay, so earlier earlier in this episode, I was talking about how I, my one true north, and it's been bubbling ever since. So yeah, see, a person can be, I am of the belief, their own one true north, right? So think about this. Let's go down this rabbit hole, right? So instead of tying, your compass, to something outside of you, because of course that's not what it is. And what I mean, once again, the thing of tying your compass to things outside of you, that's your job, a relationship, or a cause. You know what I'm saying? So when I say that I am my one true north, so my one true north is anchored within myself. You know what I mean? And perhaps maybe you're the same way. You know what I'm saying? It means that your direction is guided by your authentic self. You know what I'm saying? Your values, right? That's what I mean by your authentic self. Your values, your truth, your character, and not by external approval. That's one of those things we really need to get the fuck away from, that people pleasing and that trying to get validation from folk. Yes, it would be cool if people say, yo, you're doing a fantastic job. Man, this is phenomenal. Word. That would be nice. But it's a problem when you need that shit. Like, you can't function without it. You don't need external approval. Can't say that enough. You know what I'm saying? Because this is your journey. This is your one true north. You dig? You know? Yeah, so in practice, right? If you're anything like myself, if you are your one true north, right? It ain't rocket science, man. It's just like living in alignment with with the truest version of yourself. How about that? It's being aligned with your truest self. You know what I'm saying? Even when it's uncomfortable. Even when it's unpopular. Even when it's uncertain. You know what I'm saying? Be who you are regardless of who's in the fucking room. I am my one true north. Dead ass. You know what I'm saying? And see, listen, you might be the same way. You might be, that might ring true for you too. And listen, let me tell you why that works. You know, if that's the same frequency you want, let me tell you why that works, right? Okay, so you do realize there are some folk who don't show up for themselves, right? There are folk who don't show up for themselves, men, women, young, old, whatever. There's some people in a relation, in like a romantic relationship right now, right? Who said yeah when it was really no. Who said no when it was really yeah. Every time you do that shit, you betray yourself. Dead ass. Every time you do something that you know damn well you don't want to do, just to please someone else, that's self-betrayal. So, yeah, man. So it's a heavy piece, right? To show up for yourself, to show up for yourself constantly. Ugh, still trying to get these words out. I thought I would have been warmed up by now, right? So why it works, right? You being your one true north, it works because you're constant. Now, okay, granted, you're not betraying yourself. Granted, you're constantly showing up for yourself, right? Because circumstances change, people come and go, roles they shift, but you remain the thread, right? That running thread that running thread through your own story. Dead ass. That's why it works. And not to mention, it's empowering. You know what I'm saying? It can empower you. It empowers me. You know what I'm saying? You ain't sitting around waiting for somebody else to give you direction. I'm not saying don't seek it. Stop sitting around waiting on folk. And listen, for some things, the path doesn't necessarily appear until you start making the steps. Everybody can't go. And there's certain things certain people are not going to tell you. Certain things you have to figure out for yourself. That's a nugget for the parents who got, young adult sons and daughters going off to college. You know what I mean? Yeah, so that's why it works in terms of, being your own one true north. You ain't got to sit around and wait for nobody else to give you direction because you carry it within you. If that makes any sense whatsoever. And that in itself, when you don't betray yourself and you're a constant for yourself, right? That type of shit breeds authenticity. That's what makes you part of what makes you authentic. Dig what I'm saying? You know, see, when you being you, when you are you, when you show up as you, regardless of who's in the fucking room. Now, there's many versions of you. I'm not saying have the hood vernacular side of you show up to a classy, all white affair. You know what I'm saying? There's a side to you that's also debonair and classy and mature and cultured. Feel what I'm saying? But either way, when you are authentically you, when you are your truest self, all your choices flow. They flow off who you are. It flows better like that. It flows better than sitting back being something other people expect you to be. Being this and being that and doing all all this shit so that other people approve of some shit. It's actually a crappy way to live. Which is once again why it's important to have a one true north. that thing. Word. Okay, so now here it is. There's a flip side to everything, right? Just like I discussed what a one true north isn't. So let me give you also the flip side. You know, if you are your one true north, right? Here's the flip side to that. Being your own true north. See, that don't mean that you get to ignore the world around you or reject, community. It's not rejecting community, fam. You know what I mean? And it's not ignoring the world around you. And see, you can pay attention to what's going on in the world, but not let the world like consume you or and you don't have to be influenced by the happenings in the world. You know what I mean? You can scroll through social media and see this, that, and the third and not get all up in your feelings and not get worked up. Especially when you got the ability to scroll up or down, scroll away from whatever it is that's either offensive or stupid as shit or whatever. There's some dumbasses on you know what I mean, on the socials. You know what I mean? So went down a rabbit hole again. So, but the point is, it's not about ignoring. I mean, listen, you can ignore the world and not know about nothing what's going on. My bad. You could do all of that. You know what I mean? No new friends, no new knowledge, no new nothing. You can do that, but nothing grows when you do that. Right? Nothing grows. Right? I don't be knowing everything, but I got the gist of what's popping off in this world. You know what I'm saying? And in this country. You know what I'm saying? And I know I'm going down a rabbit hole, but real quick, I just feel compelled to say I ain't gonna front. I like America, right? I like America, the country, the diversity and this, that, and the third. What I'm not too crazy about is America, the corporation. See, the corporation, that's different. There's certain things put in place that make money. You know what I mean? There's people walking around here thinking they're superior to another group of people, another group of people who thinks they're minorities, and fam. I don't like it, and all of it's profitable. That's what I don't like. Right? Yeah. Let's climb up out the rabbit hole. But again, your one true north. You being your one true north is absolutely not about ignoring the world around you or rejecting community. It is not that. You know what I'm saying? It's not that, right? What it means is it means that at your core, you're the standard that you are the standard that you measure your alignment against. If that makes any sense. Not the noise, not the trends, what's trendy, or the expectations of others. At your core, you are the standard. Black excellence, you are the standard of someone who does excellent spiritual work. You are the standard of someone who's a barber, podcaster, or whatever. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, one can be their own one true north. You know what I'm saying? And if that's what it is for you, then boom, I'm rocking with you. We in the same boat. Word up. Hey, so I don't have any sports news today. Matter of fact, very, very little. And I only got it because little bro just texted me real quick. He said, "Hey, yo, big brother." Yeah, he's a big bro. Everybody tries to give MJ a hard time for punching teammates. Say, well, you saw your man Giannis did this to his teammate. So let me try to find that real quick. I'm gonna put that in here. Got a point. Matter of fact, but then again, hold on. I don't even know if this is real. Let me hit him. So maybe I don't have no numbers. I'm not sure that's real though. Yeah. Anyway, all right. So I don't have any sports news. I do, however, have a little bit of news. Just a little bit of news. Eh? All right. So check it. Right. As per. Hold on. As per must do NYC. I just made it out. Must do NYC on the gram. Says here Harlem just made history. I'm sorry. Harlem just made subway history. Okay. The 110th Street Central Park North. Okay. The 110th Street Central Park North stop on a 2/3 line has been officially renamed 110th Street Malcolm X Plaza, planting one of the city's most important civil rights icons directly into the MTA map. The change was timed with Harlem's week. I'm sorry, hold on. I'm all over the place. The change was timed with Harlem Week and places Malcolm X's name right in the intersection of Central Park North and Malcolm X Boulevard, just steps from the newly redesigned Harlem Mir and Davis Center. Governor Hochul also signed legislation creating a new Harlem Renaissance Cultural District stretching from 110th to 155th Street, recognizing the neighborhood's lasting impact on black culture, politics, music, and art. Okay? It's not just a name change, it's a reminder. Every time the train doors open. You know what I'm saying? This media is provided via Governor Hochul, Wikimedia. Probably butchering that name. So that's pretty dope. New York just renamed the subway station after Malcolm X. Word. That's what's up, man. Now I know this is just symbolism. I get it. I like that symbol. You know what I'm saying? The Huey Newton Foundation. It's come and gone, right? No, it hasn't. It has not. Today is the 18th. So on Saturday, which is this coming Saturday, August 23rd, from 3 to 8, right? Okay. It says join us Saturday, August 23rd, from 3 to 5 p.m. to study and commemorate the legacy of George Jackson, Jonathan Jackson, and Black August. George Jackson was a revolutionary, an author, and member of the Black Panther Party whose writings from prison, including Soledad Brother and Blood in My Eye, exposed the violence of the prison system and linked it to broader struggles against racism and capitalism. He became a symbol of resistance after being incarcerated at age 19 for a petty crime and later radicalized behind bars. His assassination by prison guards at San Quentin in 1971 made him a martyr for the movement. Black August was created in California prisons in 1979 to honor George Jackson, his brother Jonathan, and other fallen freedom fighters. It is both a commemoration and a discipline, marked by study, reflection, fasting, and resistance. Its purpose is to remember those who gave us their lives for black liberation and recommit to the struggle for freedom, especially against the prison industrial complex. Word. Black fists in the air for George Jackson. Word up. Word up. Black fist in the air for the Malcolm X subway station. Word. That's about all I got when it comes to that, man. That's about all I got. Yeah, man. That's about all I got. We can move along. Let's move along. Yeah. All right, man. So listen, before I get out of here, man, I just want to say this. All right. I'm wishing everybody the best when it comes to finding their one true north. That one thing that centers them. That one thing that brings them back when they're lost or just not on their square. You know what I'm saying? And I hope that once you do, it brings a huge smile to your face. Yo, we need to smile more, man. Going through rough times. There's all kind of things going on right now. We're going through some rough times. We need to smile more. We need to smile. Oh, baby, we need to smile. Anyway, and yeah, and the reason why I need to smile, I mean, listen, if not all out laughter, definitely smile. Because, listen, emotions are chemical signals, right? Laughter, right, signals endorphins, dopamine. It's an immune boost and stress healing. You hear all the time, man, laughter's good for the soul. You've heard that before? Well, yeah. I've heard Brother Baba Dick Gregory speak on this once before. You know what I'm saying? Again, when you laugh, it releases endorphins. You know what I'm saying? Dopamine. It boosts your immune system and it heals stress. You know what I'm saying? However, anger, it releases cortisol, adrenaline, inflammation, and immune function. I guess it hinders immune function and causes stress, by the way. You know what I'm saying? So think about that. Word, think about that. So yeah, man. Also, before I get out of here, once again, I want to show love to everybody who's probably going through a thing that don't nobody else know nothing about. And yeah, I know you heard me before about how it's just three things: make it, or make it. Listen, I could sit here and talk all day about how you matter and how the world won't be a better place without you. I could talk all those things, right? But if you don't believe it, then you just simply don't believe it. If you ain't trying to hear none of this shit, and you don't want to be here no more, dead ass 988, man. Please make that call. Talk to someone. Thank you in advance for doing that, because the world won't be no better without you. It won't. You know what I'm saying? Talk to someone. And I'm sure whoever picks up that phone can guide you in the right direction to getting better. Dead ass. I wish you all the best, and I salute you for taking that step. Dead ass, man. I'm telling you, man, everybody's going through something. Everybody's going through something. I'm behind this chair cutting, listening to folk. There's husbands that feel alone, in a house with wife and kids. There are mothers who feel that way. There are youngins who feel that. Everybody feeling something. Everybody going through something. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. People getting finessed. It's just all kinds of crap going on. But folk getting scammed in all kinds of ways. If it's not somebody in a conscious community, if not getting scammed by somebody who's so-called woke, they're getting scammed by organized religion. If it's not that, it's some content creator, some influencer. If it's not that, it's from somebody in their family or a so-called friend. Everybody's just getting finessed. And fam, find your one true north and develop some discernment too. Dead ass. But anyway, man, that's about all I got, man. I want to thank y'all for watching, man. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your likes, subs, and shares. Thank you for listening to me babble, man. I don't know if I got any new subscribers or whatever. So but yeah, man, I'm gonna keep sending y'all some good energy. Y'all keep sending me some. My mom, she's still dealing with what she's dealing with. And she's a soldier, man. She's a soldier, and I'll give y'all some more updates about that as time goes on. Maybe, maybe not. So yeah, man, y'all stay up. Shout out to all my sons. Shout out to my grandkids. Word up. Shout out to my nieces, my nephews. Shout out to my youngins in my chess program. Shout out to all the parents in the chess program. Shout out to other advocates. Shout out to other mentors, entrepreneurs, the whole nine. Shout out to everybody who's just trying to do the best they can. Shout out to everybody who, is doing the work. Going to therapy, meditating, doing the work. Shout out to everybody who's fortunate enough to have folk around them to love on them. Folk around them to give them their flowers. Folk around them to tell them that, yo, fam, you matter. You matter. You special. You are special. You are needed. You are of value. And word up, everybody who's watching this right now, if nobody's told you that, you need to know. You need to know, man. You matter. You matter. I know everybody's busy. And like I said, everybody's going through something. And that might be part of it. We probably don't hear things like that more often because everybody's going through their own thing. Which is probably why it probably doesn't make a whole lot of sense to people please, or probably doesn't make a whole lot of sense to worry about what people think of you, because not many people are. They're too busy dealing with their own shit. There's too many people doing their own thing. They got their own problems, so you just do you. You just find your one true north, that compass, that thing that guides you, and you worry about you and your people, your tribe, your community. Dead ass. Word. So yeah, I've talked enough, man. Yeah, that's about all I got. One more thing. Everybody who's watching this, man, I wish you all abundance. Everybody who's watching this. You, your families, your babies, your grandbabies, your nieces, nephews, your precious grandparents, and all the other elders in your family if they're still here. But even for the ones in spirit, man. Word up. I wish you all abundance. I wish everybody abundance. And on that note, this is Hoodies. I'm the God Rashidi. This is Hoodies. And word. That's about all I got, man. I made this last as long as I could. Y'all stay up, man. I'm the God Rashidi. This is Hoodies. Peace. Hey. This is Hoodies.